Her path weaves together the physical, emotional, and spiritual aspects of healing. She's a body worker, dancer, a teacher of yoga, healing, movement, and meditation, and she helps people rediscover harmony within themselves. Do you have any cards with you, Mary? Do you have anything?
I used to.
You need to bring that with you in case anybody wants. We're very happy to invite her up to the stage. Please give her a round of applause.
So last year, I stood here on this stage and I shared my deepest secret.
Whoa.
And I had imagined that afterwards people would line up and say, "Wow, you are so brave." And so I had told this story of how by starting to feel, I had started to heal. And it was my big reveal. And I told the story of about how as a child I had become addicted to food. And then as a teenager, I discovered bulimia.
Whoa.
Except I didn't know that it was a disease.
Wow.
At first, I thought it was my secret superpower. I could eat all the pizza and ice cream that I wanted and then just hit rewind. Well, turns out that power was not so super. In my 20s, I tried to cure myself by becoming a nun, a yoga nun with a spiritual organization from India. And I figured I can't control myself with food, but hopefully by living the strict life and devoted life of a nun, and by meditating and chanting and doing social service projects, that would do it. And it worked, sort of. At least I stopped throwing up. But during all those 15 years, I could never stop sneaking food, eating too often, and always eating too much.
Wow.
Turns out some habits are really hard to break. That includes the nun habit, but that's a story for another time. So in my 40s, I got married and lived very harmoniously, but still that pesky compulsion refused to leave. So in 2020, COVID came and lockdown, and I went into a lockdown within myself where I started to really feel what was going on inside my body. And I found pain and stiffness and frustration, deep loneliness, regrets, all sorts of suffering. And not only mine, my mom's, my grandma's. I discovered the whole human condition was in my body, in my belly, in my back, in my neck, in my jaws. And so last year, I told the story how by starting to feel, I had slowly started to heal. It was my big reveal, my mic drop moment. But it landed more like a splat.
Oh.
Because instead of feeling relief, I felt shame, so much shame. I had kept the story so fiercely hidden for decades. And so when I finally told it, all I wanted to do was run, hide, and eat, and eat, and eat.
Oh.
And so, but then something happened. And from inside all that humiliation that I was experiencing, another part of me showed up, a kinder part, a brave part. And it was like my own inner best friend took my hand and said, "Honey, you didn't win the contest, but you are winning your freedom."
Wow.
And I realized that if I could just stay with the feeling and not run away from it, that I would gain something valuable. And that changed everything because I spent my whole life eating so I wouldn't have to feel. I was too scared to feel what was under all that discomfort. So by slowly starting to feel these uncomfortable feelings, I became my own alchemical cauldron. And I would learn to just be still and allow whatever feeling was there. And it was like this loving presence would come and gradually transform all that pain into gold. And so sometimes it would be like the fear, facing the fear was like walking through fire. But it would only burn off what I no longer needed. And in the ashes of the shame and the guilt were the embers of this childlike innocence that was there to be recovered. And sometimes even ancient knowing that was there to be remembered. And so I still eat too much and too often, but not as much and not as often. And I have more time and space for connecting with that inner guidance within myself, and for the creativity to create a new life and a new vision for this world. And so last year, I didn't win the storytelling competition, but I gained so much from this experience. And that feels like a real win. Thank you.
Fire only burned off what I needed. Lovely. Thank you, Marilyn. Thank you. Our final storyteller for the evening is a dear friend of mine.